Ricoh's new professional service, Precision Marketing, is helping medium and large companies to improve their marketing campaign by targeting customers with higher likelihood to respond. What sounds like magic is in fact the result of predictive modeling data analytics. Today I'm talking to Ganesh Kumaraswamy, one of our leading data analysts. So Ganesh, what surprises me is that after so many years of CRM and business intelligence tools, I'm still wondering why so many companies are still struggling to give relevant information to their customers.
What companies have done traditionally is hold data on their customer transactions for billing purposes more than anything else. If at all they've had to use the data for something, it has been in the reporting format, which is descriptive analytics. And if they have to use one step more on the data, what they try to build on the data is messaging strategy that is a mass marketing message. It doesn't become very relevant. So companies have traditionally gone after product in the interest marketing, meaning if a bank, for example, has an initiative to increase deposits, they just take a random sample of their customer portfolio and bombard everyone with a message for that particular offer. It is not customer centric at all. It is product centric in nature. So when you talk about a CRM strategy, the core essence of that is being customer centric in your marketing strategy, which makes it essential for you to go with relevant messages for that particular customer, because you are now truly understanding what the customer is in the market for, or what the customer is more likely to respond to and likely to behave in a manner that will help you identify the right message for the right customer. Added to that is the other complexities of the right timing and the right channel of communication. That's what CRM is all about.
So which kind of data need to be collected by the customers?
The data that needs to be collected to make this a very good solution for the clients in terms of business strategies is to build transactional data on their customers from the historical time frame, and then append external data that they can bring in that tells the customers about what demographics they belong to, their income levels, their home ownership, their marital status, their gender, the presence of children. Variables like that truly help identify what the customers are in the market for at that point in time.
And from a process point of view, how does it work?
The first stage is to determine what the customer's needs are. The customer typically can come back to you with one of three core objectives: acquisition, retention, or growth, organic growth of the customer portfolio. What we then do is, once the objective is determined, we sit with their IT teams and their CRM teams to understand what data they have. The data is collected. The next step is where we take the data, build a lot of descriptive analysis, and then build a predictive model to determine who is at risk or who is likely to behave in the way that you're trying to target. Then it goes into the implementation strategy, where a lot of messaging strategy takes place, segmentation strategy takes place. Once that is done, then we go into performance measurement. Once the measurement is done, we are then able to go back to the business owners and tell them exactly how the solution has worked in that process.
So once you have that, if I understand well, you need to look at the attributes that has an impact on the predictive modeling, correct?
Absolutely. You analyze the historical data, and the attributes that you have collected from their internal and external systems will help you identify those data attributes that are having a positive impact in determining the behaviors you're trying to predict. Some of the examples of these behaviors could be the likelihood for the customer to churn from the business, the likelihood the customer can respond to a product offer that is in the market, the likelihood that the customer can bring in lifetime value to the business in the whole. So first you determine the business problem. Once the business problem is determined, then you actually go to the relevant data to tell you a story.
I often hear data analysts talking about a scorecard. Could you explain what is a scorecard in this space?
Sure. The scorecard is a tool which helps with assigning the likelihood scores that a particular customer will behave in the manner that you're trying to predict. For example, let's look at an attrition model. The primary objective of the attrition model is to determine the target groups that are at risk to attrite or to churn. So when you build an attrition model, the resulting solution of the attrition model is where you score the entire customer portfolio, and each customer on the portfolio is assigned the probability that he or she will attrite. And based on the probabilities, then you know who the target groups are for you to actually go and contact.
I'm sure many companies around Europe, specifically small and large companies, will be interested by that. What is the Ricoh message to them?
The Ricoh message, especially in this day and age where businesses are aware of being cost conscious and cost cutting in nature, what our message is to these businesses is our solution is non-invasive. In other words, it doesn't require any investments in new hardware or software, and there is no risk of losing any private information on their customers because all of our solutions are built on data that is depersonalized, meaning there is no name or address that get transferred to us for the data analysis portion. And once the solution is built, we can actually transfer our solution into a language that is compatible with their current systems. So implementation becomes very easy.
So last but not least, would you tell our viewers a couple of examples where a predictive analytic model has been used?
Sure, Benoit. Predictive data analytics by nature is industry agnostic. It can be used across multiple industries. More often now, with the data explosion taking place, e-tailers and retailers are a huge industry to go after. E-tailers, especially where everything is web-based, we collect a lot of online data that gets automatically generated, and it can be brought into the fold for a lot of interesting analyses. More recently, we have developed a solution for the utility space, and we have implemented one attrition campaign for a utility company servicing in a deregulated market. And that company has seen tremendous success in the first round of contacts. We were able to target 3,000 at-risk customers who were likely to leave within the next 90 days for them. They contacted these customers, out of which 400 have been retained already, which is about a 20% return on their marketing investment. And that is our most recent success story in terms of implementing predictive analytics in the utility industry.
Well, thank you very much, Ganesh, for this overview.
You're welcome, Benoit. It's always good to see you.
This closes today's insight into the world of data and predictive analytics. Ricoh encourages you to discover the business opportunities which are hidden in your data. If you are interested in predicting your business without initially bearing the cost for software and manpower, drop us an email on precisionmarketing@ricoh-europe.com and check out this site again for forthcoming content.